Cartoons, you guys. They were like our safe space, right? The bright colors, the silly voices, the happy endings. It was all so innocent. Or so we thought. But what if, and just hear me out on this, what if behind all those goofy sound effects and catchy theme songs there were these like hidden messages, dark themes and disturbing secrets that the creators never wanted us to see? Oh my god, today we're diving deep, you guys, like deep into 13 classic childhood cartoons that are hiding some seriously messed up stuff. And trust me, after this you're never gonna look at these shows the same way again. Stay with me until number 13, okay? That one's the most disturbing theory on this whole list, and it involves one of the most beloved cartoon characters of all time. Like, if you thought your childhood was ruined before, just wait. Okay, so Rugrats. Adorable babies going on adventures, right? Wrong. What if I told you this whole show was actually way darker than any of us realized? Like, what if it's all just in Angelica's head? There's this theory that Angelica is actually the only real kid in Rugrats, you guys. Tommy, stillborn, Chucky, died in a tragic accident, which explains why his dad is like a total wreck all the time. And Phil and Lil, a miscarriage. The parents didn't know the gender, so Angelica imagined them as twins. It gets worse. The theory says Angelica created this whole fantasy world to cope with the fact that her parents basically neglect her. They're never around, always focused on their careers, and Angelica is left to her own devices. The crazy, surreal things that happen in the show, that's just Angelica's messed up perception of reality. I'm shook. This theory changes everything, like everything. Courage the Cowardly Dog. This show messed me up as a kid, not even gonna lie. It was just so creepy, you know? But what if that unsettling vibe wasn't just a stylistic choice? There's a theory that Courage, Muriel, and Eustace aren't living in the middle of nowhere. They're living in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Think about it. The town is deserted, there are constantly mutated creatures and weird monsters, and everything just feels off. The theory suggests that Courage isn't actually a coward at all. He's just the only one who can see the true danger of this post-apocalyptic world. Muriel and Eustace are either too oblivious or too old to really understand what's going on. And those villains? They're not just random monsters. They're the mutated survivors of whatever disaster wiped out humanity. Suddenly, Courage the Cowardly Dog becomes a terrifying glimpse into a post-apocalyptic future. Okay, Ed, and Eddy, think about it. Have you ever seen an adult on that show? No. Do the seasons ever change? Nope. Can they ever leave that cul-de-sac? Never. Get this. There's a theory that all the kids in Ed, and Eddy are actually dead. They're trapped in some kind of purgatory, reliving their childhoods over and over again for all eternity. The clues are all there, you guys. Each kid seems to represent a different time period with their outdated clothes and slang. And Plank, Johnny's imaginary friend, he could symbolize the extreme isolation that Johnny felt before he, died. It's actually kind of heartbreaking when you think about it. These kids are frozen in time, ghosts of different eras stuck in this weird limbo forever. Chapter 4. The Flintstones, the future, not the past. Hold up, how does a Stone Age family have a car that runs on foot power? How do they celebrate Christmas? And how do they watch TV? It doesn't make sense. Unless the Flintstones doesn't take place in the past at all. What if it's actually the future? Some fans believe the Flintstones is actually a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has been forced to rebuild after a nuclear war. Think about it. The stone tools, the animal-powered appliances, the weird, cobbled-together technology. It all points to a society that has regressed, not one that's primitive. This theory gets even crazier when you connect it to the Jetsons. Some people think the Flintstones and the Jetsons are part of the same timeline. The Jetsons are the families that escaped Earth before the apocalypse, while the Flintstones are the ones who were left behind. Mind blown. Chapter 5. SpongeBob SquarePants, The 7 Deadly Sins, SpongeBob SquarePants. It's a classic, it's iconic, it's also potentially a terrifying look at the 7 deadly sins. I know, right? Stay with me, each character represents a different sin. Patrick, he's sloth, obviously. Mr. Krabs, greed 100%, Plankton, envy, all he wants is the Krabby Patty secret formula. Squidward, wrath, Sandy, pride, Gary, gluttony, and SpongeBob. This one is dark. He represents lust. Not in the traditional sense, but a more twisted form, an obsessive, all-consuming love for everyone and everything. Suddenly, Bikini Bottom doesn't seem so innocent anymore, does it? It's like a cartoon version of Dante's Inferno. Chapter 6. Winnie the Pooh, A Portrait of Mental Illness. Okay, I know, Winnie the Pooh is supposed to be the most wholesome cartoon ever. But what if I told you that each character actually represents a different mental disorder? Psychologists have actually suggested this theory, you guys. Pooh? He could have an eating disorder and OCD. Piglet, anxiety for sure. Tigger, ADHD. Eeyore, depression obviously. Rabbit, OCD. Owl, narcissism. And Christopher Robin? This is where it gets really dark. Some believe he might have schizophrenia, and the entire 100-Acre Wood is just a figment of his imagination. If that's true, then Winnie the Pooh goes from a heartwarming story about friendship to a heartbreaking look at mental illness. Chapter 7. I love Pokémon, you guys. I grew up with it. But there's this theory that's been haunting me for years. Have you ever noticed that Ash literally never ages, like ever? And how is he able to defeat gym leaders so easily? The theory is that Ash actually fell into a coma in the very first episode, when Pikachu gets struck by lightning protecting him. Everything after that, it's all just a dream, a hallucination that Ash's brain created while he's stuck in a coma. It makes sense, right? Time is frozen, the same themes repeat over and over again, and Ash never really grows or learns from his mistakes. It's not a coming-of-age story, it's a coma fantasy that never ends. Chapter 8. Arthur. It seems so innocent, right? But there's something strange about that show. Why are there no humans? Why do all the animals act exactly like people? Well, what if Arthur takes place in a post-human world? What if something happened, some kind of extinction event that wiped out humanity? The animals, now the dominant species, have evolved to mimic their extinct creators. They've rebuilt society in their image, with schools, jobs, and even their own version of human culture. That school bell? That's not just a sound effect, it's a haunting reminder of the civilization that came before. It's all that's left of us. Chapter 9. Tom and Jerry. It's classic slapstick comedy, right? Sure, it's funny when you're a kid, but when you really think about it, it's kind of disturbing. Tom and Jerry aren't just enemies. They're trapped in a never-ending cycle of violence and pain. Every episode is the same. Tom chases Jerry, Tom fails, they reset, and then they do it all over again. Some people believe it's a metaphor for hell, an endless loop of suffering with no escape. Others think it represents a toxic relationship where both parties are so caught up in the conflict that they can't break free from each other. It's not a rivalry, it's a curse. Chapter 10. Scooby-Doo, humans are the real monsters. Scooby-Doo. It's all about ghosts, ghouls, and spooky creatures, right? Wrong. Think about it. The monsters are never real. They're always just people in masks, using costumes and special effects to scare people for their own selfish gain. The real message of Scooby-Doo? Humans are the real monsters. The villains are never supernatural beings. They're ordinary people who let greed, jealousy, or revenge consume them. It's a surprisingly mature message for a Saturday morning cartoon, but it's there. Okay, you guys, this one is dark, like really dark. You ready for this? There's a theory that Peppa Pig is dead. The entire show is just a delusion, a way for her grieving parents to cope with her loss. They imagine her living this perfect life on the farm, happy and carefree. The flat art style, the slow pacing, the lack of emotion, it all adds to the feeling that something is just off. It's like a dream that someone is desperately clinging to, refusing to wake up and face the painful truth. This one messed me up, you guys, like seriously messed me up. Adventure Time. It's so colorful, so imaginative, so weird. But what if that weirdness is actually a cover for something much darker? There's a popular theory that the land of Ooh is actually a post-apocalyptic Earth. The Mushroom War that's mentioned throughout the series, that wasn't just a random event. It was a nuclear war that devastated the planet. The magical creatures, they're the mutated survivors. The weird powers, fallout, the Candy Kingdom, a twisted reflection of the civilization that was lost. Adventure. Time isn't just a show about adventure, it's a show about trying to rebuild and find hope in a world that's been shattered by our own destruction. Mickey Mouse, the symbol of Disney, the mascot of childhood joy and innocence, right? But have you ever seen early Mickey Mouse, like really early Mickey? He was kind of a jerk. Violent, manipulative, even a little bit sadistic. It wasn't until later that he was softened, made into the bland, smiling icon we know today. Some people believe that Mickey Mouse isn't really a character anymore. He's a symbol of how corporations sanitize art, stripping away anything edgy or challenging to make it more palatable for mass consumption. He's cute, he's marketable, but is there anything real behind those eyes? Or is he just an empty vessel, a corporate logo designed to sell us happiness? Oh my god, you guys, I am shook. Are you shook? I need to go watch some, Care Bears or something to cleanse my brain after all that. Let me know in the comments which one of these theories messed you up the most. And if you want a part 2 because you know there are tons more messed up cartoon theories out there, make sure to smash that like button and let me know. And hey, if you have a friend who still thinks SpongeBob is innocent, send them this video. It's time they knew the truth.